Hello everybody and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where today, folks, we gotta talk about the most obvious news that y'all have probably heard of right now. If you're on this video, you obviously know what that is. It's Alek Manoah. He has been optioned to the Florida Complex League in the Blue Jays system, folks. This is something that we have been kind of anticipating, and I think last night's performance against the Houston Astros, where he only lasted 1/3 of an inning, and he gave up 6 earned runs against a very good Astros lineup. That was the nail in the coffin, and he's been sent down to the minor leagues. We're going to talk about all the moves that have happened. We're going to talk about what this means for Alek Manoah and who's going to be pitching in the meantime for him. Before we get into, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, guys, let's get right into it, shall we? I just got back from work. I was looking up all these tweets, but right here, I think Sportsnet and pretty much everybody else who is in the Blue Jays and sport media world said it pretty correctly. Alek Manoah, right here, folks. Let me just switch it right back over. Boom, there we are. Alek Manoah has been optioned to the Florida Complex League. That is a no. And if you all don't really are familiar with what the Florida Complex League, it's basically the league. It's a very minor league for development in the Blue Jays system. Think of it almost like a laboratory for these pitchers, for these young players. They can go and they can develop their stuff because, look, I think a lot of people are saying, oh, send them to AAA Buffalo, send them to AA. Well, here's the thing. You send them to those leagues, you're actually going to be on the road, you know, in a ballpark. You're going to be traveling. You're going to be pitching competitive ball games for these teams. But Alek Manoah doesn't need that. Alek Manoah needs to go into a factory and get reworked because the stuff doesn't look good, guys. It's not sharp. He's missing wide. He's missing all over the place with a fastball, slider, changeup. Everything is not good. His delivery is not good. He needs to go get fixed. And I think, personally, this is the best move for Alek Manoah. Not only Alek Manoah and his future, but for the Toronto Blue Jays. Because if y'all see this, folks, right here, you look at the 2023 MLB percentile rankings, and it is bad, guys. All blue. And it's crazy when you look back at 2022 when he was third in Cy Young votes, and it was beautiful. You love looking at that reference page. But then this year, something is not right. There is a root cause that is causing Alek Manoah to throw his pitches wild and have no command, and it is sad, man. It is sad. Look, I and like many Blue Jay fans have been kind of calling for this, but when you really think about it, it is really sad, man. I didn't want to be here in June making a video where literally a guy who I've pegged to win a Cy Young potentially this year go down and have to get his stuff figured out. But we do have the luxury with Alek Manoah's contract. We're able to do, we couldn't really do with someone like Jose Barrios or Kevin Gausman or Chris Bassett who are on these bigger deals. We're able to do this with Alek Manoah, who's only 25 years old and is still in his pre-arbitration year, folks. Because next year, you got ARB1, ARB2, ARB3, ARB4. You've got him for a long time, so you're not really ruining his future. If anything, you're kind of trying to preserve and save his future. And I mean, on a whole other note, in terms of contracts, you're kind of actually getting a good deal in his ARB1 year, because if he does struggle this year, the price will go down. So I guess you'll take that. But I want this man to come back. And when is he going to come back? Well, that's the question right here. There is no timeline. This is by Ben Nicholson Smith. Shout out to Ben Nicholson Smith, saying that there is no timeline for how long Alek Manoah will remain in the minors per John Schneider. And when he's ready, he's ready. Okay, it's not, oh, let's bring him up and try him out again and see if it works. No, like, they're not going to do that to him, because if it doesn't work, you're going to have to go back down, figure it out, and that's not what you want to do to a young player and ruin his mentality like that, his mental state. You want to keep him up there and stay there when he's ready. First step would be to take some kind of intake bullpen session. Ben Nicholson Smith says he goes on in Florida, where the Jays will assess Manoah physically and mechanically. And there's a lot of technology nowadays, folks, where they can really find what's his arm slot looking at. When is he not finishing correctly? Where's his hand on the ball where he's gripping? Things that you don't have real time to notice when you're just doing your day-to-day stuff, your bullpen sessions in the major leagues, your stretches, everything like that, preparing for a start. This is a real, like I said, this is a real laboratory area for Alek Manoah. Then the plan would be games, and we'll see from there. So if he goes into some, makeshift games and he's not doing well, and then they go back in the lab, like that's really what we're going to be focused on. It's not going to be every fifth day he's going to be making a start. And if you also want to see what John Schneider had to say, this was a tweet by Hazel May and a quote from John Schneider on why he's going to the Complex League instead of pitching in Buffalo. And John Schneider here says, yeah, I think it's just with the resources we have down there, just to make sure everything from delivery is on point, just a lot of more control environment. I think that's really really dive into that and not worry about going in and competing every day. So initially that was kind of a thought. So exactly what I'm saying right here, guys, go into the laboratory and get it figured out. Now, who is going to be coming up and playing for the Blue Jays right now, folks? There's another tweet that the Blue Jays came out, and there was a long list of guys who are going to be coming back to the big league level. So you got Chris Bassett coming back. Espinal's been activated. Don't know if he's going back to the roster just yet, but you do have Bowden Francis, who's going to be taking maybe not a start, maybe a bullpen session, maybe a opening start. We'll have to see, because John Schneider says we'll see if the Blue Jays might use 3 June off days to skip the 5th starter role. As for Bowden Francis, if we need him in the next 4 days, use him appropriately with the goal of making sure he's pretty available for Saturday as well. So obviously I think Bowden Francis is going to come into a bulk role where Alek Manoah's next start would have initially been. And if you look at Bowden Francis and what he's done so far in the minor leagues, this is Bowden Francis' minor league stats. We've seen him in the big leagues before. He's only come out of the bullpen for us, but in the minor leagues, he's been used as a starter for 5 games. Granted, only 18 innings pitched, so not very long. They've used him in AAA and in Single A, and he's been good. He's been good for a AAA and Single A level. I think you maybe could see him go 3, maybe 4 innings at a big league level, but that's kind of it. So I think what Shai's also referring to here is being able to skip, using all these June off days, because we do have a lot of off days coming up, right? We got one on the 12th, on the 22nd, and on the 26th. So you got to somehow, bridge the gap before getting some trade deadline reinforcements, maybe 100 reinforcements. You got to be able to play some smart GM baseball, maybe use Bowden Francis a little bit, right? You're not too worried about Bowden Francis options, right? You bring him up for a little bit, utilize them, and then if we go into one of these long stretches, maybe you set him down, bring up another guy, maybe bring up a Drew Hutchison to come up and just give you some bulk innings. But that's what you're going to have to do, again, until we get to that trade deadline. But we're going to talk about that in another video, guys. We're going to talk about what the Jays have to do at the trade deadline, right? What are the steps for Alek Manoah moving forward? We're going to talk about all of that in another little bit. Before I end this video, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors video, and that is Betway. Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. Yes, thank you. Shout out to Betway for sponsoring this content. I mean, Betway's making it possible for me to come back from work and just be able to give you guys this content and this breakdown. But overall thoughts, guys, just on Alek Manoah. Again, if you're just tuning in, if you're in the live stream, this is what the Blue Jays needed, and this is what Alek Manoah needed, because it has not been a good stretch for Alek Manoah. Nobody saw this 2023 campaign happening, and going down to the Florida Complex League, that is a factory for starting pitchers and position players alike to go get their stuff figured out. That's why he's not going to Buffalo. That's why he's not going to New Hampshire to play competitive baseball. No, he's going to a laboratory, and he's going to get figured out by some of the best in the Blue Jays system. And I'm sad, I'm hurt that it didn't go well for him, but this is baseball. This is real life. Nothing goes perfect. And I wish you all the best, Alec, because, man, I hope we can see you back in August, in September, when you're making a good run, because the Blue Jays, man, they really need you. They really need you, Alec. The fans need you. Everybody in the chat needs you right now. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this Alek Manoah, option to the minor leagues? I really hope he does better, man. And I hope we get to hear from what's going on in the minor leagues soon. And guys, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because, guys, we're going to be going live we're going to go live tomorrow. Sorry, my brain's all fried from work today. We're going to be going live tomorrow for our live play-by-play, and also on Thursday be coming out with some more Alek Manoah content. But, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, guys, go Jays, go. Oh, well.